I'm Elizabeth from Elizabeth Healing Path, and a couple weeks ago I got back from my massage class. This is the first time I've traveled to a massage class. I went all the way to Florida for massage cupping level. It's their third class. I think it's Medicupping 2, if I remember the name properly, but especially working with the vacuum machine, which you know I love. And I'm going to be going over the things I learned. Now, what was interesting about this class is it did go over most of what we've already learned in previous classes, talking a little bit more about contraindications and how to deal with them. A lot of times when it comes to massage, they're like, can't work with this. But then the farther you get into your training, you're like, you can. This is how you work with it. So, but I'm going to show you my favorite things that I've learned in the class. And my lovely helper here. So one of the things I especially really liked was working with the magnets. Now, in the previous classes when we've gone over magnets, I've felt a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. So I've got the magnetic cups here, and she said she's looking for a cup that isn't so pointy. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a point here. This is the magnetic. She's looking for one that's flat. So when these go on, they can feel pointy. If it's too much, I can always just hold it in place. It doesn't need to be sucked onto the body. So I'm gonna work with the shoulder so you can see it nicely. So for example, she's having issues with her shoulder, so I'm gonna put on a blue magnet, which is gonna help with bringing pH balance to the body and healing and growth, like tissue growth. And this red one is going to tell the body, send painkillers here, so inflammation is the body's way of healing, right? So sometimes inflammation can be a good thing. So I don't have to use the red magnet, but the red magnet will tell the body to send that healing and painkillers to that spot by inducing inflammation. And I'm going to put another blue one. We want more blue than red. I'm just going to set that aside. If I was going to be at her head, I would probably put them on the other side as well. So we just have those magnets there. What the cool thing about the magnets is I could put them anywhere that's especially tight. And the cool thing that while I was working in the class is you put the magnets on, you go work somewhere else, you come back just 3 minutes later, the area is already softer and more pliable and easier to work with the cups. Because if an area is really tight, it can feel really uncomfortable for the client for me to be cupping them, which is why I generally do myofascial release on it first, the John Barnes method. The other fun activity that we did, and I'm going to be using the machine here. And there's a whole class online about this I'm going to take. So if you come to me for a while, one of my favorite massage methods is actually a pin and stretch by, how's this section? Is it too much?
No.
Okay. By applying movement to a joint, it allows, that looks really tight. It allows the muscles to then go underneath my fist or my hand and get deeper and affect more muscle tissues through the movement of the joint. So a pin and stretch would be me putting my hand on the pec and then moving the arm through, for example, internal and external rotation. Or we can go above the head. Ooh, really tight in there. Right there, she's got like a stickiness within the joint. I could also put this behind her shoulder right here because sometimes people get like a pinching in there when we go above the head, and that can cause like decompress the area so there's more blood flow to the area, which can help relieve any tension within that area. So I'm just going to slowly move through this movement. With the cup on the pec muscle. And we're getting a little bit more movement each time. The nice thing about the machine is you hear that little cup noises. If I were using a hand pump, that would be enough to pop off the cup and I'd have to re-put it on. Because the machine is applying a constant suction, it just re-sucks onto the spot and I don't have to worry about it. I actually am going to put it here. Thank you. And I love adding movement. So you're combining two massage techniques at one point. And so I'm able to do that with the cup, which was fun to learn. I'm actually going to do both those things to that shoulder off camera. Okay. So, besides the magnets, besides the cup and movement, my other third favorite thing that I learned was reminding me on the importance of the diaphragm and the stomach, which is one of the things I specialize in is hips and stomach. So I'm gonna have you put your arm under. Now I've already draped her with a towel. Normally I would do that now. So we have the diaphragm up here under the rib cages. We're gonna be working it with the cups. This is really important, especially for people who have back pain, because often the back pain is we're like this, right? We're hunched forward. And massaging the back, a muscle that's already too stretched out and lax, doesn't help because the tightness is actually coming either from the abdominal area or from the diaphragm or any of these front muscles. Those need to be opened up to allow the back muscles to get strong again. So usually I like to put kinesio tape on the back for the support, and then it's important to work the diaphragm and the abdominal muscles in those situations. Plus it's helpful for digestive issues. Now, as I work the diaphragm, you kind of have to bring the cup in horizontally, vertically. I don't remember how I would word that. But either way, it can be really uncomfortable if these abdominal muscles are tight. So first I'm going to address the abdominal muscles before I go into work the diaphragm. Have you cupped your stomach in a while? If you're not used to it, it can be intense. So a reminder that while I'm doing cupping, there's a couple different things. So doing the cup like this is a skin lifting technique. It's great for trigger points and helps relax any muscles or fascia underneath. That's a skin lifting technique. Gliding is a skin rolling technique, which is great for breaking up adhesions and scar tissue, but is also one of the more intense techniques. It's a very deep tissue, especially when I do skin rolling with my hands. I'm not able to grab as much tissue as these cups are. And if I use a really big cup on the back, I'm able to grab a lot of tissue. So I keep popping the cup because I hit a tight spot. By the way, cupping over the rib cage also feels great if anyone has any tightness within their intercostal muscles. So I'm going the direction of digestion, even though I'm addressing the musculature of the stomach. And there's like a tight spot right here, which is pretty common in a lot of people. Feels good. Right there, there's still some tightness. Okay, so now I'm going to go in for the diaphragm. So I have to go in like this to kind of grasp the diaphragm underneath that rib cage, and then I allow the cup to come up. That's why it's helpful to relax those abdominal muscles first. You can also do a little wiggling to encourage everything to relax, a jostling movement. You could always take a few deep breaths as I'm doing this. Again, we're using movement with the cups. The diaphragm with breath pushes the stomach and expands the lungs. Very good. These were on long enough. Apologize, I forgot about them a little bit. And she was especially tight right here, so I'm gonna just do a little more. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite things that I learned in my recent class. If you want to make an appointment, make sure you give me a call, text, or you can book online. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.